Chapter 83 Flaming Mountain. You are listening at thousand-fold.Audio. After refining the primordial spirit of the fire demon in the primordial spirit realm, Feng let go of his consciousness and scanned the surroundings to find the remaining fire demon. The space where the Huiyan mountain is located is not very big, it is no more than 150 miles long and miles wide, and most of the space is still occupied by the Huiyan mountain. As soon as Feng's consciousness was released, it completely enveloped the space where the flame mountain was located. The remaining fire demon had nowhere to hide, and Feng found it instantly. Immediately afterwards, with a thought in Feng's mind, the top-grade treasure, the long sword, turned into a stream of light and flew towards the remaining fire demons, easily killing the remaining fire demons. At this moment, without the slightest hesitation, Feng immediately activated the heaven-swallowing demon Kung Fu, releasing a strong suction force, covering the corpses of those fire demons. Soon, all the blood, mana, and soul power contained in those fire demon corpses were absorbed into Feng's body, and refined by Feng into pure killing mana. After absorbing the blood, mana and soul power of hundreds of fire demons, especially one of the nascent soul realm fire demons and dozens of nascent soul realm fire demons, the killing mana in Feng's killing consciousness reached saturation, and the killing talisman became even stronger. It is strengthened to a limit. Seeing this scene, without the slightest hesitation, Feng immediately activated the heaven-swallowing demon art and began to attack the golden core realm. After the experience of condensing the golden elixir once, Feng easily condensed the killing talisman in the sea of killing consciousness into a golden elixir of killing. Ding! You have condensed a killing golden pill, and the effect of cultivation will be returned 10,000 times, and the killing golden pill you condensed will be strengthened 10,000 times. At this time, a crisp sound rang in Feng's ear, and an invisible force entered into Feng's condensed killing golden elixir, causing the killing golden elixir to shine brightly, and its power soared 10,000 times. Feeling the terrifying power contained in the slaughtering golden pill, Feng showed a satisfied smile on his face, and with a wave of his hand, he put all the spiritual artifacts, treasures, space rings and other items left by the fire demon into the Dongtian orb. Afterwards, Feng flew into the flame mountain that released raging flames with a single movement. Fire spar, fire rock, fire marrow stone, fire spirit stone. Looking at the red stones on the Huiyan mountain that were discarded like garbage, a light flashed in Feng's eyes, and he couldn't help exclaiming softly, fire spar, fire stone, fire marrow stone and other fire-type heavenly and earth treasures are extremely precious and valuable. They can be refined into fire-type spiritual weapons, fire-type treasures, and used as fire-type Taoist weapons auxiliary materials. However, such precious fire-type heavenly materials and earthly treasures are like rubbish on the flame mountain, which made Feng shocked. Feng quickly calmed down his excited mood, and with a big wave of his hand, he put the fire spar, fire rock and other fire element heaven and earth treasures in his eyes into Dongtian beads and stored them. Immediately afterwards, Feng continued to walk towards the depths of the flame mountain. As Feng moved forward, the flames released by Huiyan mountain became hotter and hotter, and the temperature became higher and higher. The fire-type aura released became more and more intense, and there were more and more fire-type treasures nearby. More and more precious. When Feng came to the central area of the flame mountain, the temperature released by the flame mountain had reached an extremely high level, which could easily burn an ordinary nascent soul into ashes. However, Feng has awakened the immortal level flame talent, and has practiced the top-level fire-type kung fu such as Vulcan art, so he has a very high affinity for flames. Therefore, although the flames released in the central area of the flame mountain were very hot, they did not cause any damage to Feng, and instead made Feng feel very comfortable. In addition to the frightening temperature, the concentration of fire aura in the central area of the flame mountain is also extremely high, thousands of times higher than that of the outside world, almost reaching the level of liquefaction. Practice the Vulcan art here, and within half a year at most, I can be promoted to a nascent soul cultivator. After experiencing the situation in the central area of the flame mountain, Feng whispered to himself with excitement. However, Feng did not immediately practice in the central area of the flame mountain, but returned to the outer area of the flame mountain first, took out the fire ant nest from the Dongtian Jue, and placed it in the outer area of the flame mountain. The fire-type aura in the outer area of Huiyin Mountain is also very strong, more than 10 times or even dozens of times that of the outside world, and it has a large number of fire-type spirit stones, fire-type natural materials and earth treasures, which are very suitable for the growth of fire ants. As long as a sufficient number of fire element spirit stones and fire element natural materials and earth treasures are devoured, the fire ants in the fire ant nest can grow up quickly and become Yang Feng's powerful helper. Especially the queen ants, after devouring a large amount of fire element spirit stones and fire element treasures, can mate with male ants and breed a huge number of fire ants, allowing Yang Feng to form an army of fire ants. After doing all this, Yang Feng returned to the central area of the flame mountain, sat cross-legged, and concentrated on practicing the Vulcan art. You have practiced the Vulcan art once, and you have condensed a group of mana, and the effect of the practice will be returned 10,000 times, and you will have an extra, groups of mana in your sea of consciousness, that when Yang Feng ran the Vulcan art once, a clear reminder sounded in his ears, 10,000 balls of pure mana were condensed in his sea of consciousness, making the mana reserve in his sea of consciousness huge increase. Hearing the beep and feeling the changes in the sea of consciousness, Yang Feng immediately turned off the beep and continued to practice Vulcan art. Time passed quickly like running water, and in the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. During these 3 months, Yang Feng sat cross-legged in the center of the flame mountain like a sculpture. Streams of pure fire-type aura poured into Yang Feng's body like a tide, but Yang Feng's body was like the sea. He would not reject anyone who came, allowing countless pure fire-type auras to pour in. Broken down into a baby, Yang Feng suddenly opened his closed eyes, and with a roar, the golden core in his body shattered, condensed into a small baby, and was officially promoted to a nascent soul cultivator. Ding! When you condense into a nascent soul, the cultivation effect will be returned 10,000 times, and the nascent soul you condense will be strengthened 10,000 times. At this time, a crisp sound rang in Yang Feng's ear, and an invisible force entered the nascent soul condensed by Yang Feng, and strengthened the nascent soul. Its power soared 10,000 times. With my current strength and combat effectiveness, I can easily kill monks in the primordial spirit realm. Except for primordial spirit realm cultivators with special physiques, or guarded by special top-grade treasures, other primordial spirit realm cultivators are not my one-shot enemies. Feeling the terrifying power contained in the nascent soul, a gleam flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he whispered confidently, amidst the muttering. Yang Feng let go of his consciousness and scanned the fire ant nests in the outer area of the flame mountain to check the changes in the fire ant nests. Chapter 84 Collecting the Flame Mountain. You are listening at thousand-fold.Audio. The queen ant grows to the heaven-human realm, the male ants grows to the yin-yang mirror, and the other fire ants grow to the mana realm. All of them are very good. However, the most exciting thing is that the queen ant has reproduced a full 1 fire ants. You know, these 1 fire ants are the first generation of fire ants bred by the queen ant. They are extremely talented and have great potential. They can grow to the realm of law. As long as these 1 first-generation fire ants are provided with enough fire-type spiritual objects, they can directly grow to the law realm. Once these 1 fire ants grow to the lawful realm, I will have an extremely powerful army of fire ants. After sensing the changes of the fire ants in the fire ants' nest, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with surprise, and he couldn't help but softly sighed. After sighing with emotion, Yang Feng stood up, quickly flew to the fire ants' nest, and put it into the hold Z bead. Immediately afterwards, Yang Feng soared into the air, hovering over the flame mountain, carefully looked at the situation of the flame mountain, and with a big wave of his hand, countless materials flew out of its Dongtian beads, and were refined into formation plates one by one. After Yang Feng refined 81 formation discs, with a thought, the formation discs turned into streamers of light, flew around the flame mountain, and surrounded the flame mountain. Rise! At this time, Yang Feng gave a soft drink, and the magic power in his body surged, turning into streaks of light, submerging into the 81 formation discs, and activating the 81 formation discs. Immediately afterwards, bright spiritual lights shot out from the arrays and converged over the flame mountain to form a multifunctional huge spiritual net that enveloped the flame mountain. Move. After watching the huge spiritual net enveloping the flame mountain, Yang Feng let out a soft drink, and the 81 arrays released a series of incomparably bright rays of light, soaring into the sky, trying to pull up the flame mountain. Boom, boom, boom. In the midst of violent roars, the huge flaming mountain was pulled by the spiritual net and began to be pulled up from the depths of the earth. When the flame mountain was pulled off the ground by the pull of the spirit net, Yang Feng thought, and the Dong-Tian orb released an extremely powerful suction force, sucking the flame mountain into it. Immediately afterwards, Yang Feng moved into the Dong-Tian pearl. With this flaming mountain, Dongxianzhu will have a source of spiritual energy. It won't be long before the aura in the Dong-Tian pearl will be filled and it will become a blessed place. And I also have a training place, where I can enter the Dong-Tian orb anytime and anywhere, and practice in the central area of the flame mountain. At the same time, the fire ant's nest also has a shelter, where it can absorb fire element aura to its heart's content on the flaming mountain, and devour fire element spirit stones and fire element treasures. Looking at the flaming mountain in the Dong-Tian pearl, and feeling the fire-type aura continuously overflowing from the flaming mountain, Yang Feng's eyes flashed with excitement, and he said to himself with a smile on his face. After talking to himself for a while, Yang Feng moved the fire ant nest to the flame mountain. After doing all this, Yang Feng came out of the Dong-Tian orb, left the space of the flame mountain, and reappeared in the Grand Canyon. Afterwards, with a wave of his hand, Yang Feng released a top-grade treasure flying boat, and drove the top-grade treasure flying boat towards the direction of Chaos City in the center of Chaos Mountain Range. The City of Chaos is located in the center of the Chaos Mountains. It is built on top of 9 top-quality spiritual veins. Its aura is extremely rich. It is the best place for cultivation in the Chaos Mountains. At the same time, the City of Chaos is also the largest city in the Chaos Mountain Range, which is jointly controlled by 36 large forces. Each of these 36 large-scale forces has more than 10 primordial spirit realm monks sitting in their towns, and they are backed by strong law realm experts. When necessary, these law-level powerhouses can take the risk of law chaos and madness to forcefully strike and kill powerful enemies. Therefore, the City of Chaos is also the most powerful city in the Chaos Mountains, and it is also the most prosperous city in the Chaos Mountains. It is no exaggeration to say that the City of Chaos is the core of the chaotic mountain range, bringing together strong people, cultivation resources and intelligence from all over the chaotic mountain range. Yang Feng wanted to kill Li Qingyuan, the traitor of Xuanhuan, and complete the task Li Wudi gave him. The easiest and fastest way was to go to the City of Chaos and use the information from the City of Chaos to find Li Qingyuan. The golden core cultivator that Yang Feng killed had a map of Chaos City. Yang Feng didn't have to worry about getting lost. He drove the top-grade treasure flying boat and headed straight for Chaos City. During the flight, in order to reduce troubles, Yang Feng released the aura of the nascent soul realm cultivator directly, so that the fierce beasts, human cultivators, and alien cultivators who passed by took the initiative to avoid them, and came to the chaotic city for more than 1,000 miles without hindrance. Outside, because it is not far from the City of Chaos, there are more human monks and monks of other races nearby, including some powerful Jindan and Yuanying realm monks, as well as Yuanshan realm monks. Therefore, Yang Feng put away the nascent soul realm cultivator aura on his body, avoided the nearby cultivators, and galloped straight to the direction of Chaos City. When Yang Feng flew to the top of a mountain that was only 500 miles away from the City of Chaos, beams of bright precious light shot out from the mountain below him, and shot towards Yang Feng with incomparably terrifying power. Bombarded away, facing the sudden attack from below, Yang Feng's expression remained unchanged, and with a thought, the top-grade treasure, the black gold shield, flew out of the Dong-Tian Jue, turned into a huge black gold shield, and floated in front of him, blocking the 3 bright rays of light. Baoguang's attack. Extreme Treasure Shield. Extreme Treasure Flying Boat. We met a big fat sheep this time. Seeing that Yang Feng blocked the attack of the 3 precious lights, excited voices sounded from the mountain peak. 3 big men exuding the monk's breath in the late stage of nascent soul realm, turned into 3 bright streamers, shot out from the mountain peak, and went straight to Yang Feng. Hunter. That kid is going to be unlucky. A mere cultivator in the early stage of the nascent soul is actually showing off his wealth by driving a top-grade treasure flying boat without any cover. The Chaos Mountains are extremely dangerous, following the naked jungle law. Showing off wealth in the Chaos Mountains is simply looking for death. A monk in the early stage of nascent soul owns a top-grade treasure flying boat and a top-grade defensive treasure shield. It's really amazing. That kid was actually targeted by the hunters of the 3 late nascent soul cultivators. He is doomed. Seeing the scene of young Feng being attacked, the human monks and foreign monks in the distance stopped to discuss and wait and see. Their eyes were full of gloating and watching the show. Chapter 85 Chaos City. You are listening at thousand-fold.Audio. Swordsmanship. Seeing the 3 late nascent soul cultivators galloping towards him, Yang Feng's expression remained unchanged. With a soft drink, a flying sword flew out of his body to meet the 3 late nascent soul cultivators. The ultimate treasure, the flying sword. Sensing the terrifying power contained in the top-grade treasure flying sword, the expressions of the 3 nascent soul late-stage monks changed drastically. With a cry of exclamation, they sacrificed one after another top-grade defensive treasures, trying to resist the attack of the top-grade treasure flying sword. Boom! 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 Amidst the crisp sounds of metal collisions, the top-grade treasure flying sword activated by Yang Feng flashed across the void like lightning, breaking through the defenses of each top-grade defensive treasure, and easily piercing through the heads of late nascent soul cultivators. Causing it to splash blood, die tragically on the spot, and fall downwards. Immediately afterwards, only 3 nascent souls were seen, flying out of the sea of consciousness of the 3 late nascent soul cultivators, turning into 3 beams of light, and galloping away in 3 different directions. However, before the 3 nascent souls could fly far, the killing sword flew out of Yang Feng's sea of killing consciousness, flashed across the void like lightning, easily pierced through the bodies of the 3 nascent souls, absorbed it, and turned it into essence food. Fuck! What a terrifying fencing technique! Beheading 3 late nascent soul cultivators with one sword is too ferocious. Worry. Is this kid pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger? This kid looks like a monk in the early stages of the nascent soul realm, but actually possesses the combat power of the nascent soul realm. It's really shocking. No wonder this kid dares to drive the top-grade treasure flying boat openly. It turns out that he has such strength and confidence. Seeing that Yang Feng easily killed the 3 late nascent soul monks, the nearby human and foreign monks all exclaimed, their eyes full of shock and disbelief. Amidst the exclamation, these human monks and foreign monks aroused the magic power in their bodies, turned into streamers of light, and galloped towards the direction of the chaotic city. Obviously, these human and foreign monks were afraid of being targeted by Yang Feng and slaughtered them. After all, there is no order outside the city of chaos. Yang Feng killed them, and no one cares. If they died, they deserved it. I can only blame myself for not being good at learning and being too weak. However, Yang Feng was not interested in dealing with those human and foreign monks. With a big wave of his hand, he put all the corpses, space rings and other items of the 3 late nascent soul monks into the Dongtian bead, and then turned them into a stream of light, sending them to the chaos. Speeding away in the direction of the city, soon, Yang Feng flew hundreds of miles away, and arrived outside the city of chaos. The city of chaos is indeed the most powerful force in the Chaos Mountains. The city walls built are not only majestic and strong, but also have an extremely powerful defensive formation. With the power of the Chaos City's defensive formation, even if thousands of primordial spirit realm monks attack together, they will not be able to break through the Chaos City's defensive formation in a short period of time. Seeing the majestic city of chaos not far away, Yang Feng murmured softly and sped towards the direction of the West City Gate. So many people. The city of chaos is very attractive. Looking at the long line of monks outside the West City Gate, Yang Feng muttered softly, landed outside the West City Gate, released the powerful aura of nascent soul realm, and walked quickly towards the West City Gate. Sensing the powerful aura emanating from Yang Feng, the monks queuing up outside the West City Gate all evaded to the side to make way for Yang Feng. Senior, the entrance fee to the City of Chaos is 100 spirit stones. If Senior has a residence in the city, or plans to stay in an inn, he only needs to pay the entry fee of 100 spirit stones. If Senior doesn't have a residence in the city, and he doesn't plan to stay in an inn, he can only stay in the city for 1 day. After 1 day, he must pay the entrance fee again. At the same time, fighting is prohibited in the city. Once there is a fight in the city, a large amount of spirit stones will be confiscated at the slightest, and beheaded on the spot. That when Feng came to the entrance of the West City Gate, a guard stopped his way and said respectfully, "This is 100 spirit stones." Hearing the guard's words, Feng immediately took out 100 spirit stones from the space ring and passed them over. "Senior, this is a temporary pass, please keep it." The guard took the linkshire and handed a jade tablet to Feng Dao. Feng took the jade tablet, glanced at it casually, put it in the interspatial ring, walked quickly across the West City Gate, and entered the city. It is indeed the most prosperous city in the Chaos Mountain Range. Not only are there many monks, but there are also a lot of training materials. Seeing the flat avenue stretching for an unknown number of miles near the city gate, the countless shops on both sides of the avenue, and the monks walking in and out of various shops on the avenue, a look of surprise flashed in Feng's eyes, and he muttered softly involuntarily, "The street in front of me is like the streets of a secular king's city with a large population. It is very prosperous, with people coming and going, bustling and bustling. However, more than % of the people in the streets of the secular king's city are ordinary people and warriors, but % of the people on the street in front of them are monks, and only a small number of warriors." After muttering for a while, Feng walked along the flat road to the depths of the chaotic city. In the process of moving forward, Feng entered some shops on both sides of the street from time to time to observe the goods in the shops. Soon, Feng discovered that the items in the shops in Chaos City were very high-end, far from what a small Xiuxian Fang like Qingyue Fang could match. Just the ordinary shops on both sides of the street have a huge number of magical weapons and spiritual weapons, 1st level to 4th level magic pills, various middle and low-level talismans and a small number of high-level talismans, various battle puppets, and various spiritual treasures. Grass elixir, spiritual materials and other cultivation materials are for sale. The City of Chaos is really prosperous, and there are also a lot of training materials. The 36 major forces that control the City of Chaos can earn a huge amount of spirit stones from them every day. It's hard not to be strong. If I can rob the City of Chaos, I will directly make a fortune, and I can easily support a big force. After visiting dozens of shops, Feng's eyes flickered, and he secretly sighed in his heart. After sighing with emotion, Feng stopped wandering around and went straight to the largest, most luxurious and most extravagant Four Seas Inn in Chaos City, looking at the Four Seas Inn in front of him, which is located in the center of the chaotic city, in the middle of the busiest street. Soaring into the sky, simple and majestic, exuding a powerful atmosphere, Feng smiled slightly, and quickly walked towards the Four Seas Inn. "Guest officer, would you like to stay at the hotel or eat?" As soon as Feng entered the Four Seas Inn, a clerk from the Yin Yang Mirror quickly walked up to him and asked respectfully. Chapter 86 The Four Seas Inn and the Traitor's Message. You are listening at thousand-fold.Audio. Stay in store. Feng looked at the shop assistant in front of him, and responded in a flat tone. "Guest officer, our Four Seas Inn has 4 levels of rooms, low-class rooms, middle-class rooms, upper-class rooms, and suzerain suites. Among them, the inferior room has an area of 30 square meters, a bed, a table, and a chair. The medium room has an area of square meters and has an exclusive practice room. The area of the first-class room is 100 square meters, and there is an exclusive training room, which is equipped with a spirit-gathering formation. And the concentration of spiritual energy inside is 3 times that of the outside world. The suzerain suite covers an area of square meters, with all kinds of facilities, training room, alchemy room, weapon refining room, etc., and a set of spirit gathering array is arranged in the training room, and the concentration of spiritual energy inside is 10 times that of the outside world. 50 spiritual stones per day for the lower class runes, spiritual stones per day for the middle class runes, spiritual stones per day for the upper class runes, and, spiritual stones per day for the suzerain suite. May I ask which class of rooms you will live in? How many days do you plan to stay? Hearing Yang Feng's words, the store clerk immediately asked softly. Stay for 3 days first, and if necessary, I will continue to live. Yang Feng pondered for a while, then said softly. Guest officer, please follow me, I will take you to check in. As soon as Yang Feng finished speaking, the store clerk showed excitement and said in a respectful tone, soon, Yang Feng came to the counter in the lobby on the first floor of the Four Seas and under the leadership of the shop assistant. Shopkeeper, this guest officer has opened a suzerain suite for 3 days. The shop assistant said excitedly to the shopkeeper behind the counter. Guest officer, to check in at our Four Seas Inn, you need to pay first before checking in. Please prepay the room fee for 3 days. The shopkeeper behind the counter looked at Yang Feng calmly and said, hearing what the shopkeeper said, Yang Feng glanced at him, took 150 high-grade spirit stones from the space ring, put them on the counter and said, there are 150 high-grade spirit stones here, please count them. Seeing Yang Feng's movements, the shopkeeper smiled slightly, and with a wave of his hand, put them into the interspatial ring, then took out jade plaques from the counter, handed them to Yang Feng and said, Guest officer, this is the number 888 Sect Master. The key to the formation of the suite, please keep it safe. If you want to extend your stay, please come to the counter to renew in advance. After finishing speaking, the shopkeeper said to the shop assistant next to Yang Feng, Xuanhuan, take the guest officer to number 888 Suzerain Suite. Guest officer, please follow me. As soon as the shopkeeper's voice fell, the shop assistant said to Yang Feng with enthusiasm, soon, Yang Feng followed the shop assistant to a suite on the top floor of the Four Seas Inn. At this time, Yang Feng put the jade card in his hand on the formation of the suite, and the formation automatically opened, revealing a wooden carved door. Afterwards, Yang Feng pushed open the door and entered the suite, and found that the room was very spacious and spacious. With complete facilities and precious and high-grade materials, among them, the ground fire platform was set up in the alchemy room and the equipment refining room, which could be used for alchemy and equipment refining with the help of the ground fire, which made Yang Feng very satisfied. Guest officer, my name is Wang Shaoer. In the past few days, I will serve you. If you have any needs, you can tell me, and I will try my best to help you. Seeing the satisfied look on Yang Feng's face, the store clerk also smiled and said softly. Wang Shaoer, do you recognize this person? Have you ever seen him, or heard of him? Hearing the shop assistant's words, Yang Feng's heart skipped a beat, and a jade talisman flew out of his body. A stream of light shot out from the jade talisman, forming a virtual screen. The image and introduction of Xuanhuan, a traitor of Zong, appeared on the virtual screen. Guest officer, this person has lived in our Four Seas Inn several times, I know him. However, according to the rules of our Four Seas Inn, we cannot disclose the information of our guests at will. Looking at the images and introductions on the virtual screen, Wang Shaoer said with some embarrassment. Wang Shaoer, as long as you don't tell me, I don't tell you, who knows that you told me about this person? Hearing Wang Shaoer's words, Yang Feng was overjoyed, and with a wave of his hand, he closed the door, and then gave Wang Shaoer a high-grade spirit stone. Guest officer, I think you hit it off, so I'll make an exception and tell you the information about this person. Don't tell me. This person is the favorite face of the Sect Master of the 100 Flowers Sect, and he follows the Sect Master of the 100 Flowers Sect every day. Wang Shaoer quickly put the high-grade spirit stone into the space ring, and said softly. Wang Shaoer, can you tell me the news about your 100 Flowers Sect? Hearing Wang Shaoer's words, a look of surprise flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he asked softly. While speaking, Yang Feng flipped his palm, and a high-grade spirit stone appeared in his palm, entering Wang Shaoer's field of vision. Guest officer, the 100 Flowers Sect is a big force near the City of Chaos, and the suzerain is a powerful monk in the primordial spirit realm. His strength is extremely powerful. I don't dare to disclose the information of the 100 Flowers Sect at will. Seeing the high-grade spirit stone in Yang Feng's hand, the shop clerk shook his head slightly and said, "Wang Xiao, as long as you tell me about the 100 Flowers sect, this high-grade spirit stone will be yours." Yang Feng stuffed the high-grade spirit stone in Wang Xiao's palm and said, "Guest officer, this jade slip contains detailed information about the 100 Flowers sect, and only 10 high-grade spirit stones are needed. Do you want it?" Wang Xiao put the high-grade spirit stone in his hand into the interspatial ring, took out a jade slip, and shook it in front of Yang Feng. "I want this jade slip," Yang Feng said without hesitation. While speaking, with a thought in Yang Feng's mind, 10 high-grade spirit stones flew out of his interspatial ring and floated in front of Wang Xiao. Wang Xiao put away the 10 high-grade spirit stones, handed the jade slips in his hand to Yang Feng and said, "Guest officer, please do your work first. If you need me for anything, just call me by name." After speaking, Wang Xiao quickly left the room. "I made a lot of lingshur again, I can have extra meals tonight. In the future, we can collect more information about the forces of Chaos City and nearby areas, and sell them to those who need them." After Wang Xiao left Suite 888, an excited smile appeared on his face, he muttered softly, and quickly went downstairs. At this time, Yang Feng let go of his consciousness and carefully read the contents of the jade slips. Soon, Yang Feng finished reading the contents of the jade slips, and had a detailed understanding of the 100 Flowers sect. According to the information in the jade slips, the 100 Flowers sect is a group of female monks stationed in the 100 Flowers Valley more than 3,000 miles away from the City of Chaos. The patriarch of 100 Flowers sect, Qin Xuanhuan, is a cultivator at the peak of Xuanhuan and one of the famous top powerhouses in Chaos City. Qin Xuanhuan practiced the art of harvesting yang and replenishing yin. She has countless faces. She is the famous queen of the City of Chaos. She often recruits handsome faces with extraordinary strength in the City of Chaos. Li Qingyuan was tall, handsome, and came from a famous family with extraordinary strength. He was very attractive to Qin Xuanhuan. Not long after Li Qingyuan fell into Qin Xuanhuan's arms, he won Qin Xuanhuan's favor and became Qin Xuanhuan's favorite face. If Yang Feng wanted to kill Li Qingyuan, he had to pass Qin Xuanhuan's level first.